ASMR video. Today, another drink review. And here we are again. One of these days I'm going to get a cease and desist for saying it like that. Anyway, let's get into another video today. It's another drink review, and today we're drinking another beer. A Birra Bionda. It's I don't know what that means. A blonde beer, maybe? I don't know. I actually don't know what language this is meant to be. It looks like it's Italian, but it's called Menabrea. I want to say it in an Italian accent. Menabrea. There we go. It's premium lager, so this is a lager, 4.8%. I've started doing a few more lager ones, some branded. I actually, for once, put this in the fridge before we drank it today, which I started doing since the last one with Katie, where we put it in the fridge, because of course when you're having a lager you really want to put it in the fridge beforehand so that it's cold and cool, as it should be served. So it's pretty cool right now. This is a 660ml bottle. Don't know what that would be in Imperial. I quite like Italian beer, so we'll try it. Let's get it open. It is open. I nearly broke my bottle opener here. You see it's got a little magnet on the end to keep the cap, which is pretty cool. So before we pour this out and give it a try, little look at the cap at the top if you can see it. There you go. It's the closest focus it's going to give you, I'm afraid. But it's a kind of silvery top with the brand name on it. Okay, very strong lager, like in terms of its scent. There's no like floral notes that I can pick up on. Very hoppy. It smells like no other beer that I can particularly make note of it, but it just smells like lager. Definitely doesn't smell like that sort of other subtle smell that ales have. Like you can tell this is like an aromatic lager. Maybe it's the kind of grains that I put in it, but here we go. We've got a glass. Finally, to the best bit. There we go. Oh, look at that. It's kind of like a green bottle. You can't really see it too well. Maybe if I get up close, yeah, you can see a bit there. The bottle's sort of like camo green. And there, look at that. That is the perfect beer. It's not quite as lively as I'd like it to be, but it's got a good head and it is staying on there at the moment. It will probably fade in a few seconds, but that is actually a really good pour. I'm pretty happy with that. Just wish it was a little bit more lively. So it looks good. It's got that strong copper taste that I always pick up on, that I still haven't researched because I'm a piece of shit and haven't researched it yet, but let's drink. And that same smell follows through. It's strong. What I would describe as full-bodied, I don't know if that's an accurate reflection, but like if someone would say something is full-bodied, this would be what I would imagine the taste that I'm having now. I was expecting it to be a little bit dry, and there is a subtleness there, kind of like this is just not going to sound correct, but the only way I can describe it is that some drinks are syrupy, even if they're not necessarily syrupy, in the texture they leave in your mouth. And some ales and other beers, I find when you drink them, it feels like they've left a layer on your tongue, in your mouth, that's a little bit tacky, almost like what you would expect from syrup or honey, that sort of like tackiness, and with that comes a dryness, and there's a very subtle element of that with this, but it's actually kind of light at the same time. Now, I've said before, I really like that sort of like metallic smell and taste, and I think the aroma of that I just find pleasant with the beer. I don't know why. Now, this is not very lively, so it tastes flat. say that this beer is bad because it's flat, because it could have been me, it could have been my storage. It has been sat for over a day in my bag at room temperature, probably a little bit over room temperature, because it's quite hot in this room. Before I remembered, oh yes, I should probably put that in the fridge, and I didn't, so that's probably why, potentially. Let me give you a closer, maybe you can see. The problem is it looks like there's more bubbles because of the refraction of the glass, so for you it looks pretty lively, but actually it's like only a very small amount in reality. I wish I could show you from the top, maybe I can. No, not really, it still looks lively for you. Anyway, you'll just have to trust me. It's got a nice kind of golden colour. It does look a little bit like piss. But beer tends to do that. The only ones that you could do that with are like stouts or like porters is they might not look like they're literally just urine in a glass. That's why I like the head to remain, because if the head remains and it's lively, it doesn't look so much like you're drinking something that got left in the toilets at the bar. When I used to work in a bar, I always used to get suspicious when I would go in to clean the toilets, and I'd go into the men's and see like a half pint sat on the sink, and I'm like, and it's still got this in it, and I'd be like, is that beer or is that piss? I don't know, and I don't want to know. Gloves on, pour it down the sink. I'm joking, not down the sink, that would be unhygienic. This tastes like what you would expect an Italian beer to taste like, I guess. You know, I always expect sort of Italian drinks to be, I don't know how to describe this without sounding stupid, but like romantic. So they're full on, but they're also like smooth and seductive, and that's how I feel like this drink is. It kind of gives me this sort of like powerful scent, that powerful taste. It's strong, it's here, but at the same time it's smooth and nice and easy to get on with, and yeah, it's got a strong sort of aroma, but it's not like a spicy aroma, it's not floral, it's not something else. It's just pleasant, I guess. Yeah, very nice. I'm almost drunk the whole thing. I don't feel like I've drunk this. You know, when I'm drinking ales, I always feel like I'm already so like full up when I drink them. Whereas this, maybe it's because it's not very lively as well, so it's not battling away in my stomach. But with these, I really don't feel like I've had as much as I've had to drink, which came up to about here, you know. I've nearly had half a pint, so it's not actually that heavy of a drink, which I kind of prefer. I don't really like heavy beers unless I'm having one and that's it. I don't really want to drink heavy beers or anything of that sort of variety. Like, can you imagine going for a few drinks out in the pub before, and you're going to, I don't know, go and watch a game or something like that, and you're having sort of heavy ales? I just can imagine it is just sickly. Like, they're very full, they're filling. You know, if you have a tends to be an ale, it feels like you're having a meal. Whereas this is like a refreshing starter. I don't know if that makes any sense. But yeah, it's very nice. There's not much more I can really say to it. I'd give it a go if you want something that's, you know, it's not too out of the realm of normality. Like, you're not getting something that's wildly different to some of the big branded beers. Like, it's similar, but at the same time, it's got a few other notes to it make it more pleasant, you know. I need to try and learn how to better describe beers. I'm so far into these drink reviews and I still haven't done it. It's just not, it's not good enough, is it really? I'm gonna do it at some point. I'm gonna sit down, watch like a beer review, a YouTube video and do it. I actually used to watch some beer review videos and I can't remember the channel that it was, but it was these like 3 or 4 guys and they'd sit around a table and they'd bring out a beer and they'd, you know, talk about the beer, they'd smell the beer and then they'd try it. And, you know, beers, sommeliers, is that what they're called? Sommeliers. You know, and any kind of like drink sommeliers or whatever the term is often get like shunted and laughed at as it not being a real thing. And like, I think if you're really sort of narcissistic and arrogant about it, that's fair enough. But often like it's just about describing a beer, describing a drink. So a beer sommelier is someone with recognised experience who can help you choose a beer to fit a particular occasion or food pairing. Interesting. Let's see here. This is way off topic. Beer tasting notes. A guide to reviewing beers. Maybe we could do this as a video, going through this and learning. Oh, it's taking me into a PDF. A beer scoring sheet. Oh my gosh, this would be so fun to do. Bouquet, aroma, malt hops, other characteristics, appearance, colour, clarity, head retention. Well, some of that's hard for me because I don't know how much of a fault that's mine. Flavour, malt hops, aftertaste, body, mouthfeel, light, heavy, carbonation, and then there's like overall impressedness. This would be fun to do actually. Well, we're getting a whole bunch of information here. Man, I might do this as its own video, going through this stuff, because this is a lot of fun. It's talking about the different kinds of beers there are, how to choose a beer, and like getting into beer reviewing and the world of craft beer. You'll want to start with crossover beers, lighter styles like lagers and pilsners, and blonde ales. Yeah, I haven't really had many blonde ales. I don't think there are a few left. There's a I can't remember what it's called, but there's still one in the co-op that I'm gonna pick up. Then we've got some stuff about pale ales, English pale ales, high hop, bitterness, flavour and aroma. Dry hopping is common. What is that? Where's dry hopping? My gosh, there's so much to learn. Okay, well that didn't really take me to anywhere important. It didn't really help me there. American pale ales. Oh, hold on, it tells you like it tells you examples. So, London Pride is an English pale ale. That's cool. American pale ales range from gold to light copper in colour, characterised by high hop bitterness, flavour and slight and aroma, slightly less malty than English pale ales. They have a strong fruity ester flavour aroma. Belgian pale ales, more spicy and aromatic in regards to malted yeast. And they're the pale ales, and then you've got Indian pale ales, American amber ales / Scotch ales. So a bunch of stuff here. Indian pale ale evolved, or an IPA, evolved when British brewers were making beer for export to India, distinguished by high alcohol content, full flavour and intense hop bitterness, medium maltness and body. I don't know what any of those mean though. The thing is, this is really good about talking about the beers, but I don't know how to define any of those features that they just mentioned. American amber ales or red ales. Oh, I don't like red ale. I've had, I think that's what the ruby one was a red ale. Range from copper to light brown, typically defined more by malt than by hops. I'm actually starting to get a picture of the flavours now because I don't think I like really high malt flavour. Medium to high maltness with caramel character. Yeah, I'm starting to see that. That must have been what the Hobgoblin Ruby was, and a red ale. Then we've got the Scotch ales, lightly hopped, malty and full-bodied. I don't recognise any of the brands there. Then we've got brown ales, English brown ales, deep copper to brown. I'm not going to go through all of these because that would just be a bit of a waste of time. Oh, that's what they're talking about. Drinking environment, and they're talking about. Okay, so. Alright. It's talking about temperatures and stuff. Oh, you've done it all in Fahrenheit, that's not good. I don't know how to deal with that. I don't know how to deal with that. Okay, here's the issue is I don't know how to describe. I guess it's kind of difficult to articulate without an example, you know. It's hard, isn't it? Because how do you describe on the internet what hops versus malt smells like? Take a sip and let the beer roll around your tongue and flood your mouth. I tell you what, I'm going to Google this right now, because maybe I can find out at least one thing for this video. I'm trying to figure out the taste of that. I've been describing the metallic taste. Well, this isn't good. It's telling me that it may have reached unsafe levels and may need to be discarded. That too much iron consumed alongside alcohol can. Well, I'm not going to read this because I don't want it to be a bunch of bullshit. Okay, this does not seem relevant because that doesn't seem right. What is going on? Apparently this isn't a normal thing. Maybe I've just got fucked up taste buds. Everything is saying is just metal in the beer. That doesn't seem right, surely not. I've had too many beers with that taste to it. Okay, I don't get this. Thank you for sticking around if you're watching. If you know what I'm talking about, please let me know, because I have no fucking idea what's going on here. Because everything that I'm looking at is apparently just like too much iron in your drink. I've mentioned this too many times for it to be like something that isn't real. Do you know what I mean? Like, for it to be something that's rare, because I get it all the time. Okay, here we go. Poor quality metal pipes in the brewery packaging, poor caps or cans, or improperly stored grains can lead to a metallic flavour and mouthfeel. If your beer tastes like blood, pennies, or ink, it is most likely absorbed extra metal. Alright, well, I guess I'm getting more iron in my system. Is that bad? I don't know. It's so funny because it literally describes it as like the taste of pennies. That's so crazy. I really just thought it was a normal taste in beer, but maybe it's actually a really bad thing. But there you go. So, maybe you just have a really bad brewery, mate. I don't know. I've told you what I tasted in this beer. It was honest. It was before I even realised that was a bad thing. Potentially. So that is Menabrea, the Italian premium lager. There we go. So I actually enjoyed it. I don't mind that taste. I don't know if it's actually a bad thing or if the metallic taste that other people are tasting is something different to me, I don't know, because I get it almost all the time whenever I drink a beer. Like, I can taste something metallic, so I don't know. Maybe it's just me with some fucked up senses. Maybe I'll never really truly be able to drink beer in the same way as everyone else. I don't know. Anyway, thank you very much for listening in, and I will see you in whatever video comes next. If you enjoyed, drop a little like, I would appreciate it, and maybe consider subscribing, because if you made it this far, you obviously enjoyed the video, so it may be worth it.